Right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Sorry about if anybody was trying to click on the link, I messed it all kinds of up and had to remake a new one. So hopefully you got a notification that I was live, and hopefully you were watching. Somebody's watching. So I am pretty stoked about tonight's guest. She's joining us all the way from Paradise in the Canary Islands, and it is late AF there. She very graciously, said she would stay up late to join me. So I'm going to bring Jen out. Hi, Jen.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. What's up, Kenneth Dunner Jr.? How are you, sir? We got folks showing up.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got people messaging me on LinkedIn. They're probably wanting to know where. Okay.
Awesome. People are showing up.
Yeah. All right. So technical difficulties aside, we made it.
That's fine. Yeah.
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 It happens.
We're thriving. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're making it work. Making this work.
Good deal. Well, how are you? Aside from probably being a little on the tired side.
Well, I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah,
You know, every time
excited.
I've watched, so I did a thing, like there's so much interaction and so on.
Yeah.
And I love your energy. Like I think it's a great place to be. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm happy to stay up late. And if I say something weird, that is just the excuse I'm gonna have. Yeah.
Right.
It's 11:30 here. So yeah.
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 Kenneth popped over on LinkedIn. That is Amanda Knight. Hi, Amanda. Glad you joined us. So let's just start off, since we had this conversation earlier.
Yeah.
Let's just start off with your name. That kind of seems to be the way to do it. You know,
Yes,
here in the
that's a
States,
tradition.
here in the States, we look at this and we say Genevieve
Mhm.
with a heavy American accent.
Mhm. Mhm.
You've shortened it to Jen.
Mhm.
So tell us the correct pronunciation of your name with the accent.
With the accent. Okay. So so I'm French Canadian. So also, you know, I think this is just the Genevieve is just the English pronunciation.
Yeah. Yep.
So in French we would say Geneviève. Geneviève, right?
I love, like, ever since I was very young, like I always thought the French accent was the coolest accent. I love it.
Really?
Yeah, for some reason
Yeah.
it's always just stuck in my head. I loved it. Yep.
Is that, and was it like the French from France, or was it more the Canadian French?
Yeah, I probably couldn't tell you the difference.
Okay.
Because my ear doesn't pick that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if it was a French Canadian speaking French, I probably wouldn't know that it was Canadian and not French.
Yeah. I get that. But that's probably why you have the right pronunciation on my name then. Because
Maybe
you have
so,
the ear
yeah.
of French. Yeah.
Now, if I got
That's pretty
somebody
cool.
from Canada and somebody from France,
Yeah.
I would probably be able to hear the difference in their accents. But hearing
Yeah.
just one or the other, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you who was from where.
Yeah.
And that's where you're originally from, right?
Yeah, I'm from Quebec. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, the accent difference is quite heavy. But I like to compare it to, you know, British English and American English. It's different.
Right.
You have your
totally different.
Yeah. And you have a Texan accent.
Yes,
I cannot differentiate the different American accents.
Really?
No, not at all.
Huh. You know what's really interesting to me is, like, you know, America's a pretty big country, and we have a variety of accents from the north to the south and east and west. It all kind of, you know, we can hear the difference in them. But England has so many different accents in a country this big. You know what I mean? Like that just blows me. 30 miles away, they're going to have a different accent.
Yeah.
Hi, Julie.
That's so interesting. I wonder why. Hey, Julie.
Glad you made it. Thank you for joining us. Like Julie she's from Oklahoma, but she originally is from Montana, I think. And so she does not have that Southern type accent. You can tell like it's a northern accent when she talks.
And what would be a word? Like, is there a word that when different accents, like people with different accents would say that you would notice specifically, like, oh, okay, that person is from that region?
So there's people make fun of people from Boston because they have, it's like the whole Washington State. Yeah, Washington State. Sorry, Julie. Washington State. They have a weird pronunciation, like they don't pronounce R's. So it's like pack the cat and have it yad.
What? Sorry.
That's off a Saturday Night Live skit. That
I
was
didn't.
terrible. So the phrase people use to
Yes?
make fun of them is park the car in Harvard Yard or something like
Okay.
that.
Park
And
the
so
car in
it's
Harvard
like
Yard.
pack the cat and have it yad. That was terrible. If anybody happens to see this from Boston, I know that was awful. Yeah, park the car.
Park the car.
Yeah.
Wow. Khakis and car keys sound the same for Bostonians.
Yeah, exactly. Khakis and khakis. Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's so fun. That reminds me of New Zealand accent. Anyway.
Yeah. Water. I have no idea what that means.
Water.
Yeah.
Well, water is
water
is a word that when you say
right.
maybe
exactly
you have
right.
different pronunciation.
Yes, you're right. Thank you. I was like water. I'm trying to get some context here.
Yeah, just
the word.
maybe.
Yeah, water.
Yeah.
So, talk to us about de-stressing, man.
Yeah. I'm pretty relaxed. You? No, I'm kidding. Yes. Stress. Damn
the stress.
It's something that is in our life. I love to see the comments of people when you announce the live. A lot of people are like, oh yes, I need this, like my day is stressful and so on. And I think that this is, stress is something that everybody experiences. And as we were talking a little bit like earlier pre-show, in my experience, it's really about everybody's going to encounter stress one day or another. Obviously, there are situations that are just stressful. Like it's when it's a constant that it really is a problem, right?
Right.
When it's something that it's even during my holidays, I'm stressed. Or all I want to do is relax and take a bubble bath, and then I'm in my bubble bath, and then I'm just like thinking about everything I need to do and so on. And so that's when that becomes like a problem. And I love how you said to me about distressing. I felt this is such a large topic. I'm like, hold on a second, like how much time do we have? Kenneth, keep telling me to make you laugh.
Yeah, he likes my laugh, man. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Well, actually, laughter is a great way to distress.
It is a great way to de-stress, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Hola, Britt. Yeah. So, okay. So, so the way that I love to, when I work with people that tell me like, look, I have like 15 calls today. I'm really stressed and I never really can rest, right? Even when I rest, I'm really never really at rest. Something that I look at with them is really their mindset, right? Like, of course, like my story is all about my stress. Yes, there were a lot of external factors, but there's a lot of internal factors too. And external factors are easier to change. Internal factors, even though we can change them, is often the harder work to actually change. So that's what I look for. That's what I talk about when we talk about de-stress. And to make it sustainable, again, to like be able to, when you take your bubble bath, you actually enjoy your bubble bath, right? You're not thinking about all the other things that you have to do in your to-do list that is never ending.
Right.
So it's really about the sustainability of de-stressing. So let's go to your actual question of how to de-stress. Well, I think that the first thing that I like to talk about is, start knowing yourself. What are you telling yourself?
Yeah.
Right? What is stressing you out?
Yeah. I got to put
twerking.
I know it.
Twerking is great.
I was going to say it's
de-stressing.
probably a good for, because you
Yeah,
can't help but
it
laugh
is.
at your stupid self when you're trying to do
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. It's also, physical activity
Yeah,
is great
right.
for de-stressing.
Right.
And one of the things that I'm just like jumping around here,
No,
but
you're good.
one of the things that that really helped me with stress and that I recommend all the time is play. Play. Just play. Like as adults, like we forgot the art of play.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mhm.
And it's so important to be able to focus our mind and our brain to something that is not work related, that is
Yes.
in a very low risk environment, right? You can
Mhm.
take risk, but there's not really consequences. Like it's
Right.
really just about, depends on how serious you are about the Monopoly game, but it's really about
Right.
it's something that is just for fun. And do you play? Do you have activities that you play for fun? What do you do?
Well, not really like games and stuff, but like I get out in the woods. I like to hunt and I like to fish. So that's the kind of stuff I do to decompress. And even deer season is about to start. So I'm spending a lot of time in the woods, getting ready, getting my stands put up and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my play time, is to get out in the woods and run around or clear stuff or to get ready to play is also a part of my playtime, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That sounds like
working on a boat or working in the shop or doing just piddly stuff like that. To work on the things I like to do for fun is also fun to me.
Yeah. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's where your mind, you're in flow, right? Mm-hmm. Where your mind is clear and you just do. And how do you feel when, I don't know, something goes wrong, something doesn't go as planned when you're in that playtime?
It's not nearly as make me want to pull my hair out as like if I'm at work or something. Mm-hmm. Like if we're putting a feeder together or working on the boat and something doesn't quite go right, and it's aggravating, but it's not like if I'm sitting here at work or sitting at home, or it's a different kind of stress, I guess. Maybe not stress, but I just react different to it because I'm doing something I like doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And is there any like skills or that you find were transferable to your work or professional life?
No, not really. Because I work in an office and a lot of that stuff is like outside manual labor, working kind of things. Maybe just, finishing the job type stuff, making sure everything's just right. Making sure everything's put back together right if you take it apart, which doesn't always happen because I am not mechanically inclined and my building skills are very rudimentary, or however you say it, rudimentary or whatever. And so a lot tends to go wrong whenever I'm building or working on something.
But, so patience, maybe.
Yeah, patience and troubleshooting. And okay, I didn't do this right.
Problem solving.
Yeah, exactly. Problem solving.
Yeah.
I know I don't have any hair, Kenny. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
A lot of talk about the bubble bath.
I know.
Kenneth has never had a bubble bath.
Never had a bubble bath, and then he said, "I haven't."
It's really about preference.
I was like 8 or something.
Yeah. I don't have a bath here in my house either.
We have a very small tub that it would not be. It'd be hard for me to stretch out in to take a bubble bath.
Maybe that would not be the relaxing experience. It would be.
Brett, I don't know why anybody would want to imagine me in a bubble bath. Thank you for that image for everyone, Kenny.
Yeah. Kenneth is really encouraging everybody to imagine you in a bubble bath. That's great.
Yeah, I know. He's also always trying to get me to twerk. So,
Oh. That sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, I know it. He's been trying to get me to on camera, and I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to see that. So tell us, you
Yeah.
mentioned something and I never thought about it before.
Mhm.
Internal stressors versus external
Yeah.
stressors, and how it's the internal ones that you focus on changing. When you said that, it clicked, because you can't always control your external stressors, work, something breaks at the house, whatever. You can't always control what life's going to throw at you. So that
Mhm.
made sense. But what kind of internal stressors are you talking about that you work on changing?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that question. Well, the internal stressors are is when we're trying to accomplish something, like when we have is our thoughts. Like, let's just, like, I'm gonna stop being fancy. It's 11:30. My
Yeah.
words are not as fluid.
No,
Our
please.
thoughts. And
Yeah.
I would say, like, the first thing, in order to understand, like, what are your internal stressors, like what is stressing you out, even though there's no actual threat around you. Because haven't you noticed that sometimes, like, we're really stressed because we have a deadline, for example, and that, yeah, like, that makes sense, like, there's some pressure, there's a lot of things happening. Yeah, okay, it makes sense to have stress. But then sometimes there's no deadline and we're still stressed.
Right.
And it's like, so that's the thing, is like, so your thoughts are those are what is stressing you out. And here's the thing, I like to think to talk about a chain of command when it comes to the way that we act. Because oftentimes we think that our actions are actually the cause of our results, which is kind of true, because our actions are a consequence of our thoughts, of the story that we tell ourselves. The story that we tell ourselves is what we believe to be true. So if the story I tell myself is that when people look at me, I'm making that up right now, but when people look at me in the eye, it means that they're threatening me, for example, because this has been, because in my culture, that's something that is normal, that people don't look at each other in the eyes, because it can be threatening. And also, I've had negative experiences with that. Then if somebody looks at me in the eyes, then I may feel a threat and therefore feel stress, for example. Now, I'm taking a very simple example. I'm thinking of, for example, one of the story that was definitely coming in my way was thinking that when I was not doing, I was not worth anything, right? Like, I was trying constantly to prove myself. In order to prove that I'm good enough, I need to do. I need to do it every hour of the day, every second of the day, right? All the time. Like, so that story led me to think of, I am, for example, the thoughts that I could generate would be, I should do this, I should do that, I should be reading a book, I should be learning, I should be doing this. Now, the feeling, because here's the chain of command is this: the story you tell yourself is generating your thoughts are generating your feelings, and your feelings are generating your actions, and your actions are generating your results, right?
Yes.
So if my story is that when I'm not doing, I'm not good enough and I need to prove myself, that generates the thoughts of I should be doing, that generate a feeling of I'm not doing enough, I should be, and that led me to book my calendar with busy work, for example, right? And to always be in that state of I need to be doing and I need to do more, right? But here's the thing, is that when you're in that state, you don't, like, our thoughts are really great actors. Like, they're really convincing, right? But here's the thing, nugget, your thoughts are not always true.
Very true. And that is
right?
true.
That is true.
Yep.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know if that answered your question. I hope so.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I never really thought about it like that. They teach us in, cognitive restructuring and stuff like that whenever you're in prison, that thoughts lead to feelings, lead to actions or behaviors.
Yeah.
So that makes perfect sense. And de-stressing yourself is getting that under control, or realizing that, your worth isn't tied to doing.
Yeah. It can be different things for different people.
Right.
You know, here's the thing is that we all have a lot of stories in our head. Like that's otherwise like we wouldn't function. Like it's necessary for us to have created perceptions and belief in what we believe to be true in order to function in the world. Right? Now, here's the thing. A story is not right or wrong. There's only a story that serves you or that doesn't serve you. So if a story that would serve you is, for example, I am safe when I'm seen, right? Like people see me on LinkedIn and like I feel safe when I'm seen. Talking with people is safe, right? Then that would lead you to think, well, maybe it's great to meet people. That will make you to feel comfortable meeting with people, and that would lead you to take action in order to have conversations with people and then do live streams like this, for example. That's a story that serves what you want to do, which is talk about your message.
Yep.
Right?
And that,
now,
no, go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just about to talk about the opposite. Like if your story is that if they see me, they will hurt me, for example, right? I know that, you know, when I was young, I experienced bullying, and I was like hiding because I knew that if they were like, if I was too visible, I did not want that, right? So that created a story around that. So like I had to kind of undo that story. But what I want to say is that, again, if my goal is to be visible, to like because of my marketing or whatever, like I want to be able to reach as many people as possible with my message, and I have a story that's telling me that if they see me, they're going to hurt me or I'm going to get hurt, it's dangerous. Then you see that there's a disconnect between the actions that you want to take and the story that you're telling yourself. And here's the thing is that even though you have willpower and you want to take action and you have a plan and so on, if your story contradicts your action, your story will always win. Always win. It's the master. It's the master puppet. It's the top of the chain of command. So if you don't get to know your stories, it's very difficult to sustainably change your behaviors and habits.
Dropping those truth bombs. That makes so much sense. What story works better for you? So you have to change your story.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Exactly. Change the story. But in order to change the story, you need to know the story. And here's the thing. I wish that the story would be, you know, like written in the book like this. But here's the thing. It's all like well hidden in the back of our head, in our subconscious mind. So there's some work to do in order to peel the onion and get to know yourself. To know, like, what are you telling yourself? Like, what are your thoughts? And that's work that, you know, another tip, like start observing your thoughts, start observing how do you feel, start hearing or listening to the words that you say. And there's many ways to do that. It's a practice. It's not a one-time thing. Like, I mean, I'm laughing right now because it's a lifelong practice. Knowing yourself is a lifelong practice. We are very complex and magnificent creatures, and our brain is extraordinary, and there's many layers there. But I always tell people to do what works for them. I journal. This is part of my ritual, but I know that I work with a lot of people that tell me, yeah, I'm not going to journal.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. And I get it, because, and the same thing with meditation, for example, not that that's a way to do this, but I find that, do what works for you now. So if journal right now, like it doesn't work, then don't do it. Like a lot of people tell me, well, I do it in the shower. The shower is something I do every day, and therefore it's a place where I can reflect and just listen to my thoughts, think about my day, and really observe, what am I telling myself? Am I telling myself like, ugh, I'm so drained and I hate people I work with, for example, or why am I even doing this job? Or, you know, and again, it may not be something that we say out loud.
Right.
But your brain may be telling you, you know, stop stressing, start working. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Kenneth.
Yeah, Kenneth said stop stressing and start
Yeah.
twerking.
And yeah, I think that's a great option to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
for
need to
sure.
hop on that bandwagon too.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, you know, I'm starting to think like, what could be a story to help you start working? No, I'm kidding. I was taking this too far. Taking this way
let's
too
not.
far.
Yeah.
Let's not. So yes. So again, how to get to know the story? Start listening. Start listening again to yourself. It's a practice. In the beginning, it's not so obvious. That's okay. That's okay. But start listening to yourself. What are you telling yourself? In your language, in terms of like literally the words that you say, in the thoughts that go through your head, and how you're feeling, and also in your behaviors. Like, I mean, in terms of what do you like, is what you say and what you do aligned? Right? Like, just start getting curious about, like, if I were to really be curious about what am I telling myself, like, be an observer without judgment, because judgment is not our friend. Just leave it at the door, and be really curious about, like, what is it that's driving me, right? Would be very curious, very surprised of what can come up, because I remember the first time that I really realized, for example, that I was waiting for somebody's permission, and I was asking myself, like, can I really do this? And I was alone in my house. There was nobody to actually ask permission to, and I realized, like, oh, hold on a second, like, I really caught that thought, like, I see you, thought. I see you. You don't have to do it, hand puppets, but I like to do it because
Hey, that's what works, and that's what. Hey, I see you. No, you don't.
Yeah, I see you, and you're BS. I know that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is that when you start. What's great, I think, with like I was talking about journaling before, and again, if it's not for you right now, that's okay. Do what works for you. But it's great to externalize those thoughts, because when you externalize them, then you, exactly like this, you can dissociate yourself from them. Because when it's stuck in your head, it's very difficult to see, like, what's true, what's not. Because remember, like, those are filters that we see life through in order to protect us. Our brain is wired to protect us. Our brain is never doing something to go like to hurt us. It's always from an intention of protecting us. We're wired to protect ourselves, and a lot of our beliefs, a lot of the mindset that we've built in our life has been in reaction, has been serving us at one point. It has served us at one point. You know, again, I go back to the example of bullying. Like, if they see me, they will hurt me. Like, I mean, at that time, that served me really well. Because it you know, it was not a life or death situation, but it was, you know, like, I developed that to protect myself.
Well, that was your brain doing the fight or flight thing.
Yeah. But then tell me, sorry.
No, I was going to say, it was going to flight, so you just stay hidden. Yeah, like you said, it's a defense mechanism. Your brain's wired to protect you.
Yeah, exactly. But then here's the thing: is, like, now that, you know, I have a business and I want to be visible. Like, if they see me, they'll hurt me. Like, that's not serving me anymore. Right. So in order to let go of that, I need to identify it. I need to gain awareness of it. And that's it. And then you want to take that's what I was saying, like, you want to dissociate yourself from your thoughts so that you can catch them and know that they are not the truth. You can choose to believe them or not, but they're not the truth.
And I think, like you said, journaling, I'm not much of a journaler, but it makes a lot of sense to externalize it, just because you go back and read it and you're going to be like, what the hell was I thinking? You know, like, I go back, and not that I have just bomb content now, but I go back and look at some of my early LinkedIn posts from 8 months ago, and I'm like, what were you thinking doing that, dude? Like what was going through your head that day? So I can see how journaling would be the exact same way. It allows you to go back and say, oh, you were thinking like a dumbass today. Like it would. Like to me, it would. I'd be like, what the hell? Why were you even thinking that? You know better than that.
Yeah.
But I think the key would be to be honest in your journaling.
Oh, yeah. It needs to be a safe space.
Yes.
It needs to be a safe space. That you, and it can be just a brain dump.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's what's on my mind right now. And I'm sorry, I got distracted reading the comments. Here's what I'm on right now. And just to see the situation more clearly. Bless you. Is that? Yeah.
I got choked on the water.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Went down the wrong pipe. Sorry, y'all.
That's okay.
Yeah, we do all do that, Amanda.
Yeah. So, and again, when I say don't, but I do have mindfulness prompts. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Thoughts out.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. It's and this is a practice. This is something that that you do in order to start identifying, like, what is it that I'm thinking on a daily basis? And I'm talking about, again, somebody who has not a lot of awareness. Again, start with what you can, like, again, if it is about just thinking about it in the shower, or if it is about, if you're okay with journaling, let's do this, and then the next step, when you start identifying patterns, you start identifying, like, oh, I noticed that every day I go to work, I'm imagining how annoyed I'm going to be in that meeting. Right. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then I've noticed that I've been thinking that 10 days in a row now. Like, maybe there's maybe there's something there. Yeah. And you want to own it, because here's the thing. You can change your mindset. Like, once you catch those thoughts, right, you can change them. It's not necessarily easy, but you can. So you want to own it, right? It comes from you. You've created it. Does it serve you or not? If it doesn't serve you, then own it. And when I say own it, it's like, again, it's nobody else is going to change it for you. It's really about own it. And then when you own it, tell the story you want to tell. So if it's I'm already thinking that I'm going to be annoyed in today's meeting, I think, okay, well, that's not serving me. So what do I want to tell instead of that? Is it that, well, I know exactly what I want to get out of this meeting today. I have clarity on the objectives in my mind, and that's where you're going to focus. Because if you go into a meeting with the thought that you're going to be annoyed, you are increasing the likeliness of being annoyed.
Right. I was just fixing to say that. If you go in there, if you're thinking about, your meeting's at 10 and you're thinking all morning, I don't want to do this. This is going to be annoying. My boss is this dude is, an asshat or whatever, then that's going to greatly affect how you take the meeting and anything that you need to do out of it. And then you're going to be thinking afterwards, I knew this was going to be a waste of time.
Yes.
So it's going to carry over. It's not going to stop. It's going to carry over, and you're going to be still talking smack in your head about everybody in the meeting. Boom.
Yeah. And then you're just confirming. It's like, I knew that was happening, and then it just repeats and just repeats. And I love that you say that, because another thing that is very powerful is to reflect and to count, like I call it count our wins. And when I'm talking about here, I'm kind of talking about it in a dispersed way. But this is a system. There's a system with 4 pillars that is called Eliminate Your Limits. That I use and I'm certified in, and that has been developed by Dr. Brian Grasso and Carrie Campbell. And one of the one is learn your language, and one is count your wins. So at the end of the day, like, look back And as you caught the thought, as you told the story you want to tell, and you took actions accordingly, then look back and count it as a win. Like, actually, today I thought that this was going to happen, and it did. Awesome. That's a win, right? Because again, what you're doing is that you're slowly creating another story. Because exactly as you said, when you think that the story is going to be, the meeting is going to be crap, and unconsciously, well, you're thinking the whole time, this is a waste of time. You're confirming yourself, because your brain is always wants to make you right. Because actually your brain is your best buddy, right? It wants to protect you, it wants to make you right.
Right.
So it's going to make you right. And then after you're going to say like, I knew that would be a waste of time. So you're just continuing the circle, and that makes complete sense, right? But here's the thing, if you want to break the circle, if you want to, you know what? I know that normally I tell that story, but today I'm going to tell another story. And you take action accordingly. Then count it as a win, because what you do in saying, yes, that's a win, and acknowledging that, is that you are confirming, you're providing that yourself with that confirmation that was the right thing to do. You would do the same thing if unconsciously, right? If you were to, I'm looking for a word here, that reward, if you were to reward, I knew that was going to happen, that happened. Yeah, that's it. And then you're rewarding the new story. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, your brain may be your best friend and your best buddy to always try and protect you, but it's also kind of your worst enemy in that sense too, because it's going to try and validate those thoughts that aren't good, or that story. It's going to try and validate that story and prove that story, even though that story really didn't fit the narrative now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes. I mean, it's as you said, it's your friend and your enemy, because it's just going to follow you. The thing is that you're in charge. Your brain is just following you.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us. Kenny said, "I'm never annoyed. No one annoys me." I believe that with all my heart. I've never seen Kenny
always
do anything
win.
but always win. Hoo-ha-ha.
Yeah. Hey,
Kimberly, how are you? She was my guest last week.
I know, with the tiny hands.
With the tiny hands, and my own little tiny hands right here. Just,
oh my God. That is great.
Yeah, she sent me my own little set of tiny hands. And tiny feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great. I talked to Kimberly this week. She's awesome.
She is amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. She had a workshop today. I thought when I saw it, it was going to be like a LinkedIn Live kind of deal, but it wasn't. It was over Zoom, and it was some type of workshop. I was gonna put it on live while I was working, but since it was on Zoom, I didn't get a chance to. I hate I missed it, but yeah, she's doing good things in the humor marketing.
Yeah.
Which I think is so cool. Like, bring a little bit of quirk and grab people's attention. Like, who doesn't remember stinking little bitty tiny hands and, a woman wearing a mustache and a talking oven? Like that kind of stuff sticks. So that's just kind of genius.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's well needed on LinkedIn too.
Yeah. Come on. Yes, it is. So tell us, we've talked about all this. Tell us how you help people. Like how can people, what kind of services you offer, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
I know you do and remind me, it's been a while since we've talked, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. You do one-on-one stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you do any kind of like, I know it's probably hard being from the Canary Islands, but do you have any like conferences or seminars or virtual seminars or anything like that you do too?
At the moment, I'm doing only one-on-one. However, talking with Kimberly, actually, I decided I need to put something together.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. So, today we're talking about stress, and that's a topic that is always relevant. But I work with people with productivity. But I say productivity, it's a sexy way of talking about mindset aligned with intentional action. So because when I work with people and we talk about mindset, and then they get really crystal clear on the highest, like what really matters, what's the highest point of impact, and they are more aware of the thoughts that are leading to the action, and therefore they're changing the story. A lot of the productivity and stress issues that they would see become so apparent to them that they just go and fix it. To be honest, like that's really the process. So of course, I help with tips and tricks and so on, but the mindset is really the big bulk of it. So to answer your question, call me. Come and see me on LinkedIn if you want to talk about that.
And isn't it funny how our brains work? Like sometimes all we need is somebody on the outside walking us through some really simple steps. Just stuff we can't think about because the story in our head has got us so clouded, or whatever the story we're believing. And all we need is somebody to say, okay, what do you think about this, this, and this? And then challenge that to make us go, oh, okay. Like, not to oversimplify what you do at all, but that's really what that's.
And accountability too.
Accountability. Yep. You're very right.
Because all of this is, a lot of fancy words to talk about self-management, to talk about self-mastery, to talk about, just managing ourselves better.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge believer in tiny, small practices that when applied consistently, they make huge shifts, but they don't look like huge shifts at the beginning because they're like small things, but they do make a big impact as you practice them. And I agree with you. Simple stuff. It doesn't need to be complex. Complex is so overrated.
Yes.
It doesn't need to be complex.
No.
Yeah.
If you make something complex for me, I'm going to tell you to shove it because I'm not trying to get, I'm just not going to try and get complicated about anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mind doesn't work like that at all.
Well, I mean, I think that's also sometimes complexity is an excuse to, make things more difficult than they need to be. It doesn't always need to be complex. So, I definitely agree with you. I think that having an external objective person who is helping you gain clarity, and even like very, very simple things, but then again, it's about it's about creating habits, it's about creating practices, it's about creating consistency. And habits and practices, what does that do? That's just create a new reality.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Kimberly. I'm not complex. Just give me a snack.
What type of snack do you prefer, Chris?
Man, look, I do not discriminate. Like when I think, well, let me take that back. I do discriminate. When I think snacks, I don't think like carrot and celery sticks. I'm thinking like cookies and chips and dip and maybe some pig in the blankets or kolache type things, or just finger foods is what
finger foods. Yes. But do you have a preference for salty or savory over?
I am a sweet fanatic. I always want something sweet after I eat. But no, not really. I love sweets, but I like a good mix. Mix and pulp. Yes, I do like pulp in my orange juice, Kim. Thank you.
I saw your post, Kim, about pulp. I'm also part of the pulp club.
Thank you. I love the pulp. Yeah. My wife hates it. She cannot stand the texture of it in her mouth. I kind of think I like it when it goes in my mouth. I like the feel. It makes me feel like it's actual really orange juice and not like Sunny Delight or something like that. But I like the pulp. Have you been to Taco Bell yet?
I was kind of hoping we would go on that topic. No, I'm kidding. I haven't.
Oh.
I haven't. And I'm like, I was actually thinking of going today, but I was like, if I eat Taco Bell, I expect that I may not be in the best shape at 12 at night. So no, I didn't. But I commit. This is my commitment to go and send you a picture of it. But yeah, sorry. But did it have to do with the pulp, or was it?
What?
Okay, now I'm wondering if that was linked.
No. I meant to ask you this earlier if you'd been to Taco Bell yet.
And
so just a backstory for everybody watching. They just recently opened a Taco Bell on the island, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it's the first. And there's only one KFC as well, which I thought was really surprising.
Really?
Yeah.
I like KFC.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you told me that there was a new spicy taco shell, like spicy Dorito.
Man, I saw that, but I have not seen it on the menu yet. I don't know where I saw that.
In a dream?
Maybe it was. Maybe it's just
that was a wise choice.
Oh, they did have it at one time. When was this article written? Now you got me curious. July 11th, 2021. Doesn't say when. Said it's coming back though.
Yeah, that's a marketing trick, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I will tell you this.
Making you wait.
Taco Bell has a few staples that they keep on the menu all the time, or at least here in the US they do. And then they have a rotating, they'll come up with something new and everybody will love it. And then they'll pull it off the menu for a while. Like to keep people coming back, straight up marketing thing.
Yeah. It's a teasing effect.
Yep. Always dreaming for a snack. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Is Taco Bell, would you consider Taco Bell a snack?
No, Taco Bell's a full meal.
A full meal.
I will make a full meal out of Taco Bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. I don't eat meat, so I see that they have like a vegetarian version. I'm looking forward. Yeah, looking forward.
That's something new too. Like in the kiosks here, you can go in and touch a button, and it converts everything to the vegetarian or whatever options they have, where you have the whole vegetarian menu. So maybe some of the stuff, I don't know if it's like a plant-based meat kind of stuff they put in it. Or I don't know. I hadn't done that because I like meat, but yep, they do have a vegetarian menu now.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Great. Yeah. That is great. Yeah. So okay. There's a commitment from my part.
Yep.
to eat Taco Bell.
Yep.
Is dead to me after they took away the beef Mexi Melt.
Oh, it was so good. That was in that post. And actually I think that's how we met, was on that post about Taco Bell. You saw it somehow, I guess, and you commented on it. And that's how we connected, was talking about that Taco Bell. And that was one of the things I mentioned, that there's a whole generation of people that will never know what the beef Mexi Melt is.
What's so special about the beef Mexi Melt?
It was amazing. It wasn't really anything but like a flour tortilla, the taco meat, some cheese, and some pico de gallo. I think that was all that was in it, but it was a lot of cheese, and it was very melty and very gooey, and like it wasn't anything special really on the inside, but it was amazing.
Perfectly simple.
Yes. Yep, it was good. And I don't know why they took it away.
Yeah. I mean, what you describe is my idea of any taco at Taco Bell, but
I may be wrong. Yeah, I know. I don't know what was so. It was basically a soft taco with extra cheese.
Yeah, but the pico was a secret.
The pico was a secret. Yep, that made all the difference.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we got sidetracked on the snacks.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's tell me.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was just
working overtime.
Look, I see it's 0007 here.
Which means it's past your bedtime.
What I mean is that my mind is just like, hey,
Yeah, right. You're on straight
hey, yeah.
autopilot.
So yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So I'm gonna follow your lead.
Yep. Who is this? I don't know. I don't know who that is. Why is there no human food like there is dog food? I don't know. I don't know this person. Glad you joined us though. So if people want to get in touch with you, they can just reach out to you on LinkedIn, talk about how you can
Yes.
kind of help them get unstuck.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
So I think it's the easiest. Uh, Reach out to me, send me a
Yeah.
message. We can jump on a call and just talk
Mhm.
about like
Mhm.
a few practices, help you implement something that can have that you can implement like right now, and see where that goes. Yeah, absolutely. You know, especially just stress sucks. Like I'll just
Mhm.
say it like this, and if you know you in the audience, if there's anything that resonated and you want to start this journey, let's just jump on a call and I'll help you get started. And yeah, let's see where that goes. Because I'm really, I mean, I haven't talked about like my story and stuff like that, but I'm really passionate about helping people about that because that's just a state that is
Yeah.
doesn't feel good.
Yeah. And I can say just from we jumped on a call not long ago, right after the whole Taco Bell post,
Yeah.
and super easy to talk to, no pressure, no stress, no nothing, just two folks chatting. So don't be intimidated by her, is what I'm saying. I
Yes.
do want to tell you before I forget, and we
Tell
don't
me.
have to get into it right now because I know it's late, but if you decide you want to pursue like the workshop stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and you may be connected to some of these people too, but I'm connected to a few people that do virtual events
Mm.
where they can set it up. And I've attended one and it was amazing. They can, you go in, they set up where you can go to like different virtual tables before the event and hang out with the people there and get to know them. And then they have the event with a live chat and the speakers. Um, and then afterwards, we did another just like virtual hanging out at different virtual tables or whatever. Um, so that would be something cool you could do for like a company, that wanted to offer something like that
Yeah,
versus trying to get on a Zoom and do it. Um, so
that's awesome.
I can hook you up with them later, after you get some sleep and have a clear mind or whatever. But that's just something to think about for the future. Um, they
For
are
sure.
really, really,
Yeah.
really cool. And I can let you talk to those guys and they can give you a walkthrough and a demo and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've done some workshops, I mean, for
Mm-hmm.
specific purpose and in companies, and I've normally used Zoom. So definitely another alternative is interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's very cool. And they produce it. Like you don't have to worry about, any of the technical side of it. They produce it all
Yeah.
and handle all of it. And, if you have people that you had other people that wanted to join you on stage, on the virtual stage, they can join it. And it was really a cool deal. As a matter of fact, are you connected to Brittany Linhart?
I do not believe so.
Work culture consultant. She's got flaming red hair. Um, they're free to attend. She's doing one tomorrow, I think,
Okay.
or maybe it's tonight. Oh, it is tonight. It's tonight. It's right now. It's right now. That doesn't do you any good.
But
Unless you wanted to stay up for another hour or two.
that's okay. I
Yeah,
can look that up. I can look
yeah,
that up.
yeah,
Yeah, but
absolutely.
thank you. I definitely appreciate
Hmm.
the tip
Well, we
for
had a
sure.
good audience tonight. My attendance has been a little low, and I think it's because of summertime, just people going and doing. So we had a pretty good night. There was 8 or 10 people here. There's 8 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty good
Yeah.
on a Wednesday evening at 5 o'clock here.
Awesome.
Yep.
Great. I can't
Hmm.
believe that it's been, I see that it's been 55 minutes
Yeah,
already. Thank
already.
God.
I know it. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. It's
Hmm.
true. Yes. Awesome.
Well, Jen, I appreciate you so much for coming. I enjoyed it. It was a pleasure just hearing more about it and just kind of letting you drop some truth bombs on us and uh, kind of tell us how our mind plays tricks on us.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for inviting me, and I really
Thank you for
enjoyed it.
coming on last minute. Like it was a last minute deal.
I know, but I love it. I mean, to be
Yes.
honest, like I just so love what the energy
Mhm.
and the community, and like I was like, look, I cannot pass on this. 11 p.m. 11 p.m. it is.
Right. Lots of Coca-Cola or coffee or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, yes, thank you so much for it's I find it's really fun to
Hmm.
be on that stage of So I Did a Thing
Right.
live.
Live. That's it.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I do.
Well,
Very grateful.
yep. Yep. Very. Well, we're going to shut it down, let Jen go get some sleep, and I'm going to go home and cook supper.
Great.
Yeah. All right, everyone. We appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good evening. Bye.
Ciao.